This is Glovertown, Bonavista Bay, one nice soft day last fall. And this is the Crystal Sea, a seiner just in from a day's fishing. Earlier in the year she was fishing capelin. Now it's herring and mackerel. Here's Sandy Felton, owner and operator of the Crystal Sea. Chasing the herring, the mackerel, and the capelin is Sandy's life now, and this is enough to keep most fishermen busy. But a few years ago, Sandy figured out an interesting way to supplement his income. He began fishing for eels on the Terra Nova River.
This eel's about 5 pounds.
Wow, that's a really big one, isn't it? Is that as big as they get?
I've had on here 7 pounds.
Well, do you get a better price now for an eel like that, or?
No, same price.
I see.
Same price. No matter the larger eels go to, most of them go to Germany, I think.
I see.
Smaller eels go to Sweden and Denmark.
Wow,
this is a good sale for eel, mature eel. I got to put that one down. It's getting too powerful.
Sandy's eels come here to the Ichthus Fisheries plant in Glovertown. Owner Eric Oram is the one who encouraged Sandy and others to try eel fishing. He knew that if fishermen could catch the eels, he could process and sell them in Europe, where they're regarded as a delicacy. And so, before they knew it, an industry had been born. Fishermen were making money catching eels, and the women here at Glovertown were making money sorting, bagging, and freezing the slippery, wriggly creatures. It probably took a lot of getting used to, for most Newfoundlanders have an aversion to eels. Not so in Europe. Eels there are a real treat, especially in places such as Germany and Denmark and Sweden.
That's a good eel. Oh, yes.
I think my understanding is once the mouth is narrow like this, that...
It's not very narrow. You see, this head is a lot bigger than this head here. And,
Hans Sayabo is the buyer from Sweden. He's here to help the Oram brothers, Eric and Vaden, get their industry off the ground. Up till a few years ago, no one on this part of the coast even dreamed there'd one day be an eel fishery in Bonavista Bay. Today, a fyke net is a common sight west of the park and all along the north shore of the bay. Other buyers now compete with the Orams. Most of the best rivers have been claimed. For years, one of the objections to using fyke nets in rivers was that they would interrupt the run of salmon and trout. Eel fisherman Lacey Humphreys of Hare Bay says there's no way that can happen. What's the idea now? If there's salmon coming up here, where would they go? Would that interrupt them at all?
Oh no, there's the salmon where the salmon leads.
On the outside?
On the outside, comes up through, you got his run clear. That's what he uses. They don't use over this way. So there's there's a little over one-third of the river leads open for him now. So the salmon ain't got no worries for going on through.
Right. Tell me about the mink now. I hear that the mink is quite a problem sometimes.
The mink is a nuisance. After you're gone, away from your trap, the mink comes down the river and gets in the trap, and he chews himself right at the water level in the second pot. What he is in your trap, he goes up and goes out through and they go down out to sea.
So does the mink come in now to feed on the eels?
Oh yes, you'll get them with no heads on them.
Really?
The mink will have the head stuck out.
And then it'll make a hole through the trap and you lost your trap and your eels too.
That's right. Now I got wire mixed there, see? And that's okay, that's perfect.
Right.
Because the mink comes up on the head and he can't chew. So he lifts it and I see I got the opening on the big trap up the head.
Yeah.
So you come in and go on over.
Now when there's lots of eels coming through, you've got to be here all night long.
Well, you're here all night, yeah. Yeah, until 1 o'clock.
I see.
Whatever you got 1 o'clock, you can go home then. Risk and have it.
The eels don't move after 1?
No, after 1. That's the deadline. 9:30 to 1 o'clock.
Boy, they're strange creatures, aren't they?
Oh, I imagine they is.
Last fall was the driest in many a year. The smaller brooks, in fact, had practically dried up. That's why Lacey's fyke net, or trap if you prefer, was practically out of the water. Here on the Terra Nova River, it was different. Though levels were down, there was still a lot of water on the slower reaches. A place like this calls for a bigger net and a boat. In the beginning, it took Sandy Feltham a while to figure out the best way to catch the eels.
I got some pots, water pots, baited pots, and put out in the Terra Nova River, out to the mouth of the river, and that year I caught about 300 pounds. But the next year, I tried this net there, spike net, up in Mackle's Brook, and I caught about 750 pounds. But I didn't really know, how to catch the eels, and knew nothing about the leaves and the dirt and the sticks coming out the brook on high water, and so I lost the eels that year. So the next year, then I put a weir there. I was at a wire, and used like a wire fence across the brook. And that year I caught in Mackles, along with Mint Brook and a few here on the Terra Nova River, I caught about 4,000 pounds. And then, well, we were learning all the time, and we learned that you had to put the leaders in the river straight up and down, and with the flow of the tide, and we had to make them bigger. And last year I caught 8,000 pounds.
So each year you're doubling, or better, more than doubling your catch.
More than doubling, yes.
So that's a pretty good industry for you now, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I'm fishing in the longliner, seining, and fishing capelin and herring and mackerel, mostly, those species, and that, along with the eels, it all adds up, eh? Yeah.
Now, you're the only one on this river. Is there room for other fishermen on a river system like this?
No, that trap I got there cost me about $3,000. It took me 2 days to put it there in place, and I think I'm catching about 90% of the eels that's coming out here now. And if someone goes above me and puts out a trap, they're going to cut off the eels, and they catch the eels. So I might as well take up this trap and let the other guy have it. One river cannot accommodate more than one fisherman.
The control and management of this growing fishery presents some very real problems. Already there is friction over fishing rights, fishermen turning against fishermen as they compete for the same run of eels. It was inevitable as more and more became interested in fishing for eels with fight nets.
Lacey, this is your pot here, is it?
That's it, sir.
Yeah. Tell me how it works now.
Well, first beginning, this is our lifeline. Because sometimes you fall overboard, and you got to go. And this stick, well, this one here, this opening there is only 3/4 of an inch. And the eels come through, and it lies there, so you got to use the stick to brush them down, eh? So they brush it down on both sides. The reason why we got this open there, the mink happens to come through and gets there. He can't get through this one, so he comes back and he climbs up the lip and go down the road again.
You gotta watch out for the mink, haven't you?
Yeah, that's right. So when you get that done, you just come back and you put your foot underneath so it toes above water. So then you take it on like that. 6 to 9. Now this wart, see that gap there, look? You can't very well see it because it's supposed to be only 1/2 inch.
Right.
And none of you have to get through on your eel.
I see.
So what happens then, you take them this way, pulls them out.
Yeah.
With your eels won't come up over the water, huh?
So you got to work the eels back.
Oh, the eels gone back now because they have to brush them out.
Right.
Now, if there's a big lot of eels, you take this cover off, see?
Yeah.
And you just go to shore with it. But it's running now, there's no eels running. So you come down back. Well, there is a few in there. There is a few.
Over there. Did they come here now since you checked it last?
Oh, yes. Yes, there is a few. Now, this line here, I have to keep it close to the rock. Okay. Oh,
Boy, you got a good many there.
Oh, I say about 10 times.
And when did they get in now? Just the past
Oh,
hour or so?
yes, a couple hours ago.
Look at that. So not a water haul after all.
Oh, no, that's not too bad. But they're small. They're small eels. They're not the right kind.
Yeah.
They're the right kind. There's more bodily, that's right.
Yeah.
And they're small. So we'll take them out now. Come on, son, you come out now and go on around. This is only a small line. It's a big line. You have to keep your arms underneath. See, you rise them up.
And you got them. So you got to do this at night, of course.
That's night work.
Yeah.
With no light.
Now, what's the most you could have in one night here, say, in this one setup?
Oh, you're good for all according, you know, because the moon is right and the weather is bad night, you could get probably 2,000 pounds.
So a bad night is a good night
Bad
for
night
eels.
is a good night, yeah.
A bad night is a good night. We'll see what that means when we return to fish with Lacey and Son on the night of the Black Moon.
I say 100 pounds, my son. Good day. Hopeful. Yes, why, there's another night different, bad night, see? Oh, look at that, what do you know? They're there already. Yeah, I say the 30 pound, you know.
It was the night of the Black Moon when we returned. A dark night indeed. Watch closely and you'll see a bat. They kept flicking across the river in front of our lights. We didn't dare keep the lights on for long, for we didn't want to scare away the eels or risk the wrath of Lacey. A disappointing catch tonight. Everyone had said to come on the night of the Black Moon, and according to the calendar, this was it. There were two reasons for the poor catch. It was a dry night, a night when eels don't like to travel, and the cursed mink had torn a hole in Lacey's net. Well, you lost some of the mink tonight, did you, Lacey?
Oh, I lost a lot over there, look. I don't know how many now, but I imagine we got 30, 40 pounds on.
That way you got to keep checking it every night?
Yeah, see what happens, you chew them to air, see? The eel comes up here and seeing it through, eh? That's what happens. How do you see by that far?
Pretty good night, Lacey.
Not too bad. I like to see him worse than what he is. I like to see the rain and pouring.
You got a few more then, you figure, do you?
Well, we could. I guess we got to put on the pound there now. Yeah. So, time 1 o'clock, we should have another 100.
1 o'clock is all over, is it?
Oh, all over 1 o'clock. Just saying, you took a knife and cut them off.
Is that right?
They're still coming through there now, you know. But it's only 1, 2, 3, you know, slowly. Yeah. But the weather's not right.
You'd like it to be a miserable night?
Like when bad enough we use one beer. Yes.
Yeah. But
Well,
now,
I suppose that's it, you know.
yeah. But now, if you were in another part of the river, would it be after 11 or after 1?
Oh, no, it makes no difference. All around the island, 1 o'clock. Right around. Very certain time that you'll get a few after 1. But now, from 8:30 now to...
Right. Now, why do you put boughs on the branches on the...
That's full of mink.
I
So
see.
try to fool them. You come on the boat, you get up on the boat and run away, see? He thinks that's just a kind of a sod. See what he do? You go up on that and you can't get down that, see?
But it's hard to fool them, is it?
Oh, you can't do it. No, over there just a minute now, we was only there about 5 minutes. And he after chewing and we lost about 40 pound eels. Just as quick as that.
Well, that's $70 worth of eels.
Well, you got to be air tending at all times.
Though because of the drought, there were a few really big catches last year, eel fishermen kept getting a steady supply, enough to keep the plant going and to help Newfoundland establish a toehold in the European market. It looks like an easy job, to pop eels into a plastic bag and freeze them. Yet there's more to this than meets the eye, for eels must be sorted and graded according to size and color and fat content and maturity. There are different market preferences for eels. Some eels are sold fresh, some smoked, others jellied. It'll be some time before we Newfoundlanders know all the tricks of the trade. That's why the Orms were glad to establish contact with one of Sweden's top buyers of eels, Hans Saibo.
When I think back till when I was a boy, we had a lot of eel. But because of pollution in our water, we have so many countries to the Baltic Sea. You know, we have Russia, we have Poland, we have Eastern and Western Germany, we have Denmark, we have Sweden as well. And they all pollute the water, plus pollution from the chimneys around. And this means that the food for eels, small tiny shrimps and things like that, they die. They don't even have the seagrass, seaweed to live in. So the catch of eel is going down some 6–8% every year. I would say we don't feel that so much in our company in Sweden because we are getting more and more suppliers. We are catching eel from Thailand, Taiwan, New Zealand, Australia, Japan. We are getting eel from Greece, from Turkey, from Africa, Tunis, and we're getting eel from all over the world.
And how does the Canadian or the Newfoundland eel compare with those eels?
Good, because it's a higher quality. And when we have a higher quality, I've seen qualities from the most part of Canada now, and I'll say that Newfoundland eel is some of the best, absolutely, no doubt.
So when you see all these rivers and this relatively
you must
clean
have
country,
a tremendous lot of eel. And actually, I don't understand that you know probably that mutual eel, they just disappear. They go out with the river.
The silver eel.
Silver eels, and they never ever come back. So you can take a bucket with money and just throw it out in the water and they're gone.
So we may as well catch all the silver eels that go to sea.
Why not?
That's what happens, they say. The silver eels migrate downstream in the fall. Especially on dark, wet nights between August and October, they enter the ocean and head south to the Sargasso Sea off the coast of Florida. There they spawn, and their offspring, tiny, transparent, needle-like elvers, eventually come back to spend most of their lives in fresh water. If we catch only silver eels, we shouldn't have to worry about overfishing. The fishery could last forever. Eric Gorham is excited over the potential. Eric, how do you feel about the potential of the eel fishery now in Newfoundland?
Well, we're excited about the eel fishery. This year, we have a larger effort than we've had before, and the fishermen are making money, and we're doing okay, so we're excited about it.
And is it going to grow now over the next few years?
I think so, because we have fishermen this year that will earn somewhere between $10,000 to $15,000 over 5 to 6 weeks. And I'm sure as soon as this catches on and all the fishermen hear about it, the effort is going to be increased tremendous. You know, that's more money than a lot of them make on cod and on herring and the rest, mackerel, so on. So
now, I suppose that there are limits to it. I mean, obviously, you can't have 10 fishermen on the same river, but there are lots of rivers that aren't being fished now, I guess.
Yes, that's it. There's so many rivers that's untapped. We have a pretty good concentration right here, but there's rivers around the south coast and further north, northeast coast that is not touched at all. And there's fishermen in that area that once they know they can make money, then I'm sure they'll invest in the gear over the winter and be prepared for it next summer.
Well, can you handle all the eels that that fishermen can catch now?
I think we can handle all the eel that's available to us, yes, in Newfoundland.
What is the potential? Well, we have enough water in Newfoundland for sure, and there's even more in Labrador. Most places seem to have eels, and some have quite a lot. The potential would seem to be great, according to fisherman Sandy Felton, who's been checking into the matter.
Well, I've been looking at the maps and sizing up the rivers and that, and I think the Newfoundland has got a potential for silver eels. That's the eels that are migrating out of the rivers and the ponds down to the Sargasso Sea. I think Newfoundland could produce anywhere from 2 to 3 or 4 million pounds every year.
Could we sustain that, though, or would you fish them out eventually?
No, fishing silver eels, you'll never fish out the river. There's rivers up in New Brunswick and Quebec that they fished for over 100 years, and they've taken approximately 60,000 pounds, an average of 60,000 pounds of eels every year out of those rivers. What happens, the silver eels are are migrating from the lakes and the ponds down to the saltwater and into the Sargasso Sea, where they spawn, and the young elvers, they don't come back to the same rivers where the adult eels left. And there's lots of rivers that are not being fished, and there's plenty of spawners getting down to the spawning ground.
So this is a fishery we could have forever.
I believe it is a fishery, and I believe there's plenty of room for more fishermen on other rivers, and I think it's a real interesting fishery, and I think there's lots of room for development yet in the eel fishery.
Very nice.
They had a good day's pay there, Lacey.
Not too bad.
What?
Not too bad. Not too bad. I don't know.
Now, are they silver or
Oh, they're all silver, dears.
Yeah.
Might be one or two now. Might be one or two yellow bellies.
good weight there?
I don't know. I say 170, 80 pounds. Yeah.
So that's over, what's that? That's
$1.80 a pound.
It is a good day's pay.
So, and we can't get none of that fish. That's old-fashioned steam tide line.
Yeah.
Fishing line.
Yeah.
And we can't get them in Vanuatu North.
Go away.
No, I've tried right from London now right to Gamba.
Really?
And can't get none.
Just imagine.
John Leckie here, was used to be John Leckie here by way.
Yeah.
He don't keep them any longer.
Look at that. Yeah.
And you can't tie knot with this nylon.
Right.
The water moves it and it's on. Good day's pay, my son.
Yes, for sure.
For the day.
Not bad for your 65th birthday.
Oh, yes, that's right too, sure. I forgot that. Yes, I forgot that. Tomorrow's my birthday.
You're a pensioner tomorrow.
Pensioner tomorrow, sir. What do you think of that now? I still now I ain't pretty good shape. Yeah. But I got the cold this morning now, but that don't mean nothing.
Are you going to give it up this year, or?
I don't think so.
No.
I can make, I think, something like 5,000 or 4,000. And I know a lady is going to come down there and camp her, have a trap and get her a few drop of gas and groceries and sport around. Around the loop.
You like it too?
Oh, I love it. I've been fishing ever since I was 9 years of age.
Really?
Cod fishing, and now I'm at the eel fishery.
And what do you think? Do you like eel fishing?
I like eel fishing, yes. Yes, I love the eel fishing because you know it's on land. You're not tossed around on the sea.
No. And you can make a good dollar at it.
Yes, but the year don't look too bright the year because the water level is low. And the eels, I know that you have a bad day, bad night, you could get a few, but it don't look promising like every other year.
So maybe this is just the beginning here in Newfoundland of the eel fishery.
It is just a beginning, and you'll never realize how much it will mean to the country getting money back. As long as we go for graded eel, good graded eel, and that's what we're going to show you exactly how to do.
A new fishery for the northeast coast, catching the silver eels as they migrate to sea. A new way to make a living, on the rivers and ashore. Eel fishing will probably never be a giant industry. Still, if it can spread a few $1 million around the coast, surely it's a fishery that's worth developing.